Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more F1 Manager 2022 and another part of our Aston Martin Road to Glory career mode. Today, we are back with the Monaco Grand Prix after yesterday's incredible episode, incredible battle between Fernando Alonso and Pierre Gasly. It is officially championship back on. We've got some new designs. We're going to invest in our facilities. And we are going to go for this. We are going to push. It might affect our next season because we're not going to be pushing as much on the research. But because Red Bull have seemingly dropped off a cliff in recent Grand Prix, we're up there. We are definitely up there. So thank you very much for the support on the series so far. I couldn't be doing any of this without you guys. So leave a like if you are enjoying. Get involved down in the comments section below. Let me know how your playthroughs are going, not your own series, unless you are a YouTuber, of course. Feel free to leave a link down below promoting your own content. It would be great to get a little community together of everybody that's enthusiastic about the game, and I'm really enjoying it, and we're in the midst of season 2 at the moment. It's going to be an incredible career. I think this season could be a bit of a one-off. I think we've got to take our chance while we've got it, while we've got the pace in the car, and while Fernando Alonso is still putting in terrific performances. Last time out, of course, if you did miss it, you've had plenty of spoiler warning now. A 1-2, our first 1-2 of the series, and it was an amazing battle after a late safety car following a crash of Max Verstappen. And what a battle it was between Fernando Alonso and Pierre Gasly. Quite unbelievable, and honestly, it best race of the series yet. Best race of the series yet, and Fernando winning his second Grand Prix of the year. Aston Martin's third Grand Prix of 6 so far. We're back. We are back after our upgrades before the Miami Grand Prix, and we are very much raring to go in the next few races. Now, what I would like to have a little look at is where are Red Bull? Where are Red Bull in all of this? So let's have a little look. Red Bull are still apparently the fastest car out there in most aspects. Other than low speed corners, that is what is really, making them suffer at the moment. Sergio Perez is actually slightly better in those low speed corners. Ferrari are definitely a very strong candidate. You know, they've just got a strong race car. McLaren just aren't there, other than in high-speed corners, weirdly. So they're going to be really strong around Silverstone, you would imagine, if this continues. Mercedes are up there. It is just an absolute, just chaotic season in terms of performance. Alpine are a very solid car out there. Now, we are the best in low speed and perhaps medium speed corners. You know, we're doing all right, and that's where it's coming through, I think. But it's been a very interesting season so far. So let's keep it going. Hopefully we'll be able to keep that idea hanging. We have got a brand new suspension. So we're going to put in a couple of emergency parts to get those done. And then we will immediately go and manufacture 2 more and get those sorted out. We are going to install them on car 1 and car 2, and that will be a big benefit to us, which is nice to see. Okay, car 1 performance doing very nicely there. We have got chassis manufactured, that's fine. We've got another congratulations from Patrick Stafford. And let's have a little look at our current project. So we have got the front wing. That is due in 4 days. So we might get on top of that for the Monaco Grand Prix. But we can go ahead and do some design. Now, as I say, I think we want to really push this season to try and give winning a championship a go. I do think we can pull it off if we are at our best. Now, we have managed to upgrade most bits of the car. so far this season. We've got another front wing upgrade coming. Let's go for another rear wing upgrade, because I can see definitely some benefit in that. We'll put in, say, 1.3. We'll put in 20 wind tunnel hours as well, and that's going to give us a massive boost. Now, what is going to be our new top speed? That looks good. Acceleration looks very, very strong. Okay. Right, let's head into the design focus then. And I think perhaps we do want a little bit of drag reduction in there. A little bit less focus on our low speed. And let's go slightly less on the medium speed as well. And actually try and go a little bit more high speed with that. Airflow sensitivity. So what does that do? Designing simpler rear wing shapes will improve the car's dirty air cornering. Okay. I think we want to probably keep that balance. DRS delta. If we went to that, that would increase things nicely. Okay. Actually reduce that slightly, and that will increase other areas of the car quite nicely. So let's go for that. That looks like a very, very strong upgrade. We're going to stake 3 engineers on it. We're actually going to try and rush it through, and that will be ready for the 30th of June. Perfect. Okay. I'm really enjoying the sort of design process and actually fiddling around with those sliders rather than just chucking everything onto one side. I think actually there's more gains to be found by tweaking it slightly and making sure you're focusing on certain areas of the car. Now, underfloor wise, this of course could give us a massive advantage, so we're going to put a lot of time and effort into this. Drag reduction is looking good. It's mainly the high speed corners that I want to look at, so we're going to reduce our focus slightly on that, and we're going to up our focus on the high speed corners, and that honestly looks like exactly what we want. That is looking really, really positive. And we'll stick 3 engineers on it. This is... It could be ready before the summer break. And I am actually going to go intense on this to just try and increase our knowledge. And I know it won't be ready for the summer break, but I think it's worth spending that little bit of extra time on the underfloor. So we've got some designs in there. I think it would be foolish to do absolutely no research before next season, because then we'll be in a real quandary. Theo Porsche, 75 rated, 19 years old. Looks pretty good. Definitely somebody we'd like to keep an eye on. We have got unused development points, so why don't we go ahead and use those. Now, Fernando, what do we want to do with him? Accuracy. Okay. Why not? Gasly hasn't got one, but Piastri does. I'm going to keep going on the smoothness for him. Let's have a look at staff. Okay, none there. Vesti's scout report has come through as well, so 75 rated. Looking pretty good. He's at Haas at the moment. And then Nick De Vries, who is of course at Mercedes, 76 rated, so he's looking alright as well. Let's have a little look at facilities, because we do have quite a bit of money to spend, and it is burning a hole in my pocket a little bit. So let's have a little look. So the condition is looking fine on those things. The car park test centre. We could do that, and that would increase our engine cooling and brake cooling a little bit. So let's put something into the car park test centre. That'll really help. Staff facilities, our scouting department. We could increase that to 4 scouts. I don't really think we need any more scouts. I am interested in the team hub though, increasing that. So we'll get on that one. And wow, we only have 6 million left, so we need to be a little bit careful here, not to go into debt. Let's do another memorabilia room upgrade, and let's go for a hospitality upgrade as well. Yeah, I think that's good. So we're down to 4 million now. This is why I don't like spending money. I think we're okay. Right, let's push on. Front wing design is complete, so let's have a little look at that. Where is it? Front wing design. Let's manufacture it. Let's get 2 emergency ones built for this weekend. And let's get 2 more manufactured for after this Grand Prix. And let's put another project in the pipeline. I'm tempted to go for a research project, you know. This is definitely Motorsport Manager music. I'd love to compare them side by side. So we got front wing there. Chassis. I mean, side pods could be a decent one, just for the cooling aspect. But we haven't got yeah. Let's leave it for now. We're actually gonna go and put the idle engineers on other projects. So put 5 on that one, and we will put 5 on this one as well. That'll just get us it a little bit quicker. Now, will it get the underfloor in time for Hungary? 27th of July. That's going to be pretty close, actually. Let's have a little gander at when the summer break is this year. Yeah, was it 21st of July? Where was it? Hang on. Ah, there you go. 5th of August. But that will now go back towards the 27th. So actually, the summer break's pretty late this year. It's pretty late. Okay. Right, let's push on then. So board confidence check in. They're very happy. Let's just have a look at that. So high race performance, happiness, high objectives, happiness, high, satisfied financially as well, and we are doing a really terrific job at the moment. 3 Grand Prix wins, 6 podiums. The first podium was Marina Bay, and it's nice to see all of this. First point scored, you can see as well. Highest team rating. Okay, cool. Right then, let's get ourselves into some racing then for the Monaco Grand Prix. So let's do some performance targets. They want us to get the fastest lap. We are going to promise both drivers through to Q3. And both drivers, of course, through to Q2. Finish position, I'm going to say 2 drivers in the top 8. I'm going to be bold, and that's a decent potential reward. I think we need it because I've went a little bit crazy with all of the monies. So let's head into the race weekend for the Monaco Grand Prix, everyone.
Cars have been racing through Monaco's streets since 1929, and this weekend is no exception, as we get to watch the new generation of world-class drivers take over Monte Carlo. This is the Monaco Grand Prix. Monaco is famous for its many narrow twists and corners. From the brake-heavy Le Rascasse to the treacherous Sand of Ott, there are no proper straights to speak of, and it's extremely hard to overtake here. It sounds like simple advice, but getting up as high on that starting grid as possible is the best plan of attack. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. Let's get this underway.
Well, let's get ready to rumble and ready to go for this Grand Prix. It looks like rain could be coming on Sunday once again, so it could be a pretty intense Monaco Grand Prix. So I'll get ahead and do practice. I'll see you guys for the all-important qualifying session. Okay, at the end of free practice 3 then, Fernando Alonso in P3 and Pierre Gasly in P7, and that, you know, is pretty much what we've always seen with these two, is that Alonso is slightly quicker in practice, Gasly brings it for qualifying, and certainly because it is Monaco qualifying, we will be doing all 3 sessions, because anything can happen here. We got to get out there early, we got to put our time in there. We're going to go for 2 flying laps out there, and we're not going to include cooldowns on that, so yeah, it is going to be absolutely awesome to see what they can both do. 97% confidence on the setups. Very, very happy with that. Meaning they're going to get a full boost going into qualifying. So let's get into Q1 and see how they get on.
Ready to check?
I think it's okay.
Okay, should be green now.
So I think Pierre Gasly is going to be the first one out this weekend. So we'll send out Pierre Gasly. Try and get a lap in there nice and early. Do we have no, we don't have any used sets of soft tyres just yet. We're going to go for Fernando Alonso fairly close behind. And I'm hoping no traffic. That's the hope. Because traffic could be a real killer here. So Gasly coming round through the middle sector. Alonso doing the same. Tsunoda leaves the pit lane. And let's hop on board with Pierre Gasly, the Frenchman. Starts his lap. And I think he might be okay. Tsunoda's going to get in the way a little bit. Fernando Alonso's probably going to be okay with no traffic, so this will be interesting to see how their 2 laps compare. You can see Tsunoda's just ahead. He's going round I can't remember what it's called now. That corner. Totally forgot. But yeah, you can see Tsunoda is going to be caught by Gasly. I don't think he's going to be caught by Fernando Alonso. Now, of course, Gasly is going to be doing 2 laps, 2 flying laps. He needs to catch Tsunoda in a good part of the track. Coming up towards the swimming pool. Not the worst place, but yeah, he is caught up by traffic now. Ooh, I thought he went into the wall there. He certainly went through the wall. Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso coming through towards the swimming pool. Purple's Sector 1 and Sector 2. Now, Pierre Gasly comes up to the line. It's a 1:10.7. Fernando Alonso's surely going to be much quicker than that. Here he comes up to the line. And that's a 1:10.4, and he is held up by the AlphaTauri there. So we're going to call in Fernando Alonso because he managed to get a pretty perfect lap in there. Now Pierre needs to get past that Red Bull. The tunnel's probably the best place if that Red Bull gets out of the way nicely, and it has done. So good first sector from Pierre Gasly. It was purple, in fact. And how does that compare to Fernando Alonso's? Let's just have a look at that. 25.4. Obviously he's coming in this lap, so... Yes. Now then, Gasly. Green in the middle sector. He's going to come around the final corner, and this is going to be a good lap from Pierre Gasly. It should be enough to get him through to Q2. And he comes up to the line now. And it's a 1:10.8. I mean, that's a very strange final sector from Pierre there. I'm not entirely sure why that was so slow. And he is probably going to have to come out again. I think Fernando should be okay, though, on his time. We're going to say same tyres for both guys. Leclerc goes quickest. A little bit quicker than Fernando, but I think Alonso will be alright. Gasly I'm not entirely sure about. But nobody's really put in a good enough time just yet. So Hamilton and Russell, a lot will depend on where they end up. So Hamilton behind Alonso and Russell behind Gasly. I'm inclined to send Gasly out. There's no point saying 2 flying laps. Now, it's going to be very, very close, but we are going to keep Fernando Alonso in the pits. We're going to save that set of tyres. Gasly's going out now. I was hoping he would get out ahead of Hülkenberg. That could be a bit of a problem. Because I would think Gasly's going to catch Hülkenberg on his lap. So Gasly could be in a little bit of trouble here. But I certainly didn't want him to be last man over the line in Monaco. But you can see he has caught Nico Hülkenberg. So here we go. Let's see what he can pull off here. So through the first sector he goes. Yellow first sector, and you can see Hülkenberg is right there. I think Alonso's going to be alright, but Gasly is going to struggle here. Because everybody is going to improve as they come up to the line. We've got one of the Haas cars coming through. Kevin Magnussen doesn't go quicker than Pierre Gasly. Perez is definitely somebody that's going to go quicker. Is that going to be George Russell coming up to the line? Russell comes... No, that was Hamilton. He's still P5. So I think Gasly might be okay. He might be fortunate here. So Pierre Gasly coming around the final corner. Needs to refuel soon, apparently. Comes up to the line, and that's P7, but nobody really improved there towards the end. Perez, of course, did, but not the best. Not the best from those guys. And there you go. And Q1, 5th and 7th. Certainly not bad. Let's get ourselves into Q2 then. And again, I think...
Radio check.
Let's go for
Radio check.
2 flying laps.
Okay, it's green now.
I'm going to do the same with Fernando Alonso. So 2 flying laps for him. And Alonso's going to go out first this time. And then Gasly's going to follow. Okay, right. Let's see how we get on then. zoom it forward a little bit. Fernando Alonso is going to be first one over the line, and as long as nobody leaves the pits now, both drivers are going to get a good run at this, because the Haas is far enough ahead that it's not going to come into play for Fernando Alonso. So these two are going to get their best times in first time around. Purple for Fernando Alonso. What about Pierre Gasly? Yeah, he goes purple. 18.5 plays an 18.6. Very interesting from both drivers there. And Gasly, is he going to now switch it on in qualifying? Here comes Fernando Alonso. He of course goes purple with a 32.2 in the middle sector. What about Pierre Gasly? 32.2, but slightly slower than Alonso. It's going to be very tight as they come up to the line. I think Gasly slightly ahead, but here goes Fernando Alonso up to the line, and it's a 1:10.4, matches his Q1 time, and here comes Pierre Gasly. What can he do? It's a 1:10.3, and that puts him quickest for now. And I think for both drivers that is going to be enough to get through to Q3, so I'm fairly confident sitting in the garage on those times. I think that will be absolutely fine. I don't think anybody is going to get close enough here. It's all going to be about Q3 and where we position our cars, essentially. Max Verstappen goes quickest with a 1:10.0. I do think we're just far enough ahead of the other guys that will be okay. So, let's watch them all. Bottas will be the first over the line. Let's just double check this is going to be fine. Hang on, okay, let's head back to this.
All the way to 0.
So Bottas is going to be across the line first. He goes 6th. It's a decent improvement. But the Mercedes aren't quicker. And there you are. And the surprise there was the Alpines, I would say, both going out once again in Q2. Lando Norris went out in Q1, of course. Daniel Ricciardo into Q3. Very, very good for McLaren. And we were saying they were good in high-speed corners. Now then, Q3. Yep, got 2 brand new sets of tyres. I think we want to get out there pretty fast. We'll go Gasly first.
Radio check, radio check.
And Fernando second. Let's get them out there. Let's try and get 2 laps on the board almost immediately here. Sainz is out there. Just got to keep an eye on the pit lane. Just hoping nobody leaves. Right, this second, it looks like Verstappen is leaving the pit lane, but I think Gasly's going to beat him. What about Alonso? Is Alonso going to beat Max Verstappen? Yes, just. It was actually George Russell, I think. It was George Russell coming out. So, Pierre Gasly, his first run at pole position around here in Monaco. 18.5 for the first sector. What about Fernando Alonso? He does virtually identical times. Unbelievable. This is going to be awesome. So, Pierre Gasly running through the middle sector. Oh, somebody else has gone purple. Who's gone purple in Sector 1? Carlos Sainz has gone purple. That is interesting. Gasly goes purple in the middle sector, but Alonso takes it off him. 32.1 there. And Alonso's slightly quicker. So here goes Pierre Gasly. He's going to come up to the line. What can he do here? It's a 1:10.2, which which is a very good time from Gasly. What about Alonso? He comes up to the line to 1:10.2 as well. Very, very close. He goes P2 for now. They are going to have a second go at this. But Gasly seems to be going quite slowly here. They're both heading to the garage, strangely. Even though we said 2 flying laps. That's okay. Carlos Sainz has gone quickest. I'm guessing they just had too much fuel on board. So, brand new set of tyres, run plan. No laps. Yeah, that's fine. Alonso. Do the same. It's all going to be about when we come out right at the end. And there could be yellow flags, there could be anything like that. Currently we're P2 and P3. Verstappen takes pole. Red Bull, certainly on Verstappen's side of the garage, seem to be back this weekend. So we got 2 out. In Russell and Sainz. They're out pretty early by the looks of it. There goes Ricciardo, Verstappen, Perez. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then it's us. So we said Gasly first this weekend and Fernando Alonso second. Should easily make it. So we'll zoom them round. It might be a bit tight for Fernando Alonso here to make the line. Pierre Gasly's going to be absolutely fine. And here he goes onto his flying lap. Where is Fernando Alonso? No, he's going to be okay. He's very much going to be the last man over the line. So here we go, Pierre Gasly. This is your time to try and chuck it onto pole position once again. We certainly don't have the quickest car over 1 lap. I think we found that. Gasly, I don't know what that was in the first sector. 18.555. For Alonso, it's an 18.530. So Alonso is slightly quicker than Gasly at the moment. We've got the Mercedes coming up to the line. That was Russell, and I think Carlos Sainz. So Sainz only P2 for now. Here comes Daniel Ricciardo. He's going to be next over the line. What about Pierre Gasly? What's his middle sector like? He flies through. Yellow, not perfect. Not perfect. Perez goes P4. What about Leclerc? Leclerc goes pole. What a lap from the home driver. Hamilton comes through. Only 7th. Here comes Pierre Gasly. Where's he going to get to? He comes through. And I don't think that's enough. Fernando Alonso, meanwhile. Where can he get? 1:10.2, which does move him above Perez, but not quite above Pierre Gasly. So I have to say, maybe a bit disappointing, that session. 0.3 off the pace with both of our cars when low speed corners is our speciality. It's where we are fast, and well, we improved throughout the sessions, that's for sure. And you know, we were just beaten by better Ferraris and Max Verstappen today. And that's going to be tough for the race tomorrow. But perhaps on strategy we can make a difference. Who knows? We'll see in the race tomorrow.
It's race day with the teams and drivers ready and raring to go.
There was some good work from Aston Martin during the qualifying session, and they will go to the grid full of confidence. This weekend, Red Bull displayed promise during qualifying. Now they need to capitalize on their grid position and get a good race under their belts. And it's a little rainy here today. Only a few drops for now, but teams will be monitoring the situation really closely during the race.
So as the drivers prepare to weave their way around the streets of Monaco, you have to think there'll be twists and turns aplenty.
Okay, so there could be rain. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens in this Grand Prix. I'm looking forward to it, though. We shall see how we get on in the race. Let's see how it goes. Okay, then. Let's go. Just had a little break, so we are ready and raring to go, and we are starting in the rain. This is going to be so interesting. Let's look at this. So it is going to be raining for pretty much the whole Grand Prix, looking at it. We're not really going to get onto any sort of soft tyre running. So intermediate tyres, I think possibly moving on to the wets. This is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. Let's have a little think about this. I think we do want to start on intermediate tyres. And I guess we just go with the flow, I think. Let's pop a little bit more fuel in the car. 81 laps worth. Just so there's absolutely no chance of us dropping it in terms of the amount of fuel that we've got. This is going to be an insane Grand Prix. Absolutely no strategy. We're just going into the race and we're doing it on the fly. Here we go.
We have a little bit of rain here. I expect most of the teams are hoping that's as bad as it gets. And there we have Pierre Gasly. Starting in third place, they're in a really good position for this race. And here's Alonso, the team's second driver. With a top 10 position on the grid, this race could really go either way for them. The teams are ready to go.
Well, this is going to be awesome. Max Verstappen, of course, with the grid penalty.
At the Monaco Grand
and here we go. Ready for the lights.
It's lights out, and away we go.
That's out, away we go, of course. It's a great start off the grid for Charles Leclerc at his home Grand Prix, and it's going to be Pierre Gasly down the inside of Carlos Sainz, and he is through, and that is a very, very important move early in this race. And, well, Fernando Alonso is having a look as well. This is a huge chance, but he had to actually back out of that. That would have been an awesome move, but couldn't quite pull it off. Now, Pierre Gasly following Charles Leclerc through here, and it's going to be interesting. Can Fernando Alonso
doing a good job. Keep
get
pushing
past Carlos Sainz? Because if he can, double podium on the cards. Now, Gasly's going to struggle to get past Charles Leclerc. We know that. I think perhaps this is going to be our best chance, though. Is early in the Grand Prix. And then perhaps with strategy, that's the other place that I think we can have a little advantage over Ferrari on. And here we go. He is going to have a decent run here with the overtake button. And he does go down the inside, uses that overtake button. This is going to be a chance into turn one. And Pierre Gasly goes down the inside of Sandavon and gets through. And it looks like Alonso's through as well. Gasly leads the Monaco Grand Prix. And Fernando Alonso up into P3. Absolutely brilliant. Right. Now time to get conserving, because
back off.
I don't think Leclerc is going to be able to
Just lift and coast
to get past. I think Gasly is going to be able to defend this now. And we need to be in the best possible position now. Alonso, he's going to be attacking Charles Leclerc. We'll see if he can make any sort of moves in this part of the Grand Prix. He's in a very nice position here, is Fernando Alonso. And Gasly starting to pull away a little bit from Leclerc here. And now we come round the final corner. Can Fernando Alonso get a good run on Charles here? Yes, he can. Oh, this is a good run again. He's going to go around the outside of Sandavon. Is he going to go down the inside? Oh, he has a look. Oh, and they're now running up the hill. This is going to be so close up into the casino, but Leclerc reigns supreme. And we're going to just knock that back down to neutral. But Pierre Gasly leading this Monaco Grand Prix, and somehow from 3rd and 4th on the grid we've managed to get up to 1st and 3rd. And I certainly wasn't expecting that, certainly not early on in this race, but I guess that is where you do have your best opportunities for overtaking. Around here is at the start. And here goes Fernando Alonso again, not with any ERS this time. Well, we need to keep an eye on track conditions. It's going to get slowly worse for the next few laps, and then I think around about lap 10 is when we're going to want to come in and put on the wet tyres. It's whether we're going to want a double stack or leave people out there, but I think you probably do want to leave them out there around here, because traffic is going to be an awful thing, and if you lose any time in the pit stops whatsoever, that's not going to help. So we're going to harvest our ERS with Fernando Alonso. Going to build him back up here. He should be able to stay fairly close to Charles. Try and get him to the point where he can have a little go at Charles Leclerc again. But Pierre Gasly leading the way. We've got Sainz in 4th, Verstappen 5th, Perez 6th, and then Hamilton and Russell. Ricciardo still 9th, and K-Mag down in P10. As it stands, Fernando doing a good job here, harvesting, but staying within a second of Charles Leclerc in front. Pierre Gasly doing an excellent job of looking after his tyres, looking after the fuel, and really not having to do much. It's the slowest way to win a Grand Prix. Now, where things could get interesting is when strategy comes into it.
Okay, energy's good.
So,
Okay.
Fernando's energy's good. We're now going to go into overtake.
Use overtake.
Because if Alonso can
Okay.
get past Leclerc, 1-2, a much more comfortable position in this race. So he's chasing after Charles Leclerc. Let's just have a little look at tyres for now. Gasly and Leclerc have the best. Alonso by far the worst at the moment. But I'm imagining everybody is just looking after these tyres for now. Worst ways they take them to lap 45, but this could be a chance for Fernando. Here we go. He's got overtake, and he's going to have a look down the inside, is he? Not this lap. Not this lap. He's going to have to push on. Everywhere else here. I think it's Mirabeau, isn't it, that corner? I forgot what it was called before. How embarrassing. I think it's Mirabeau. Yes, Fernando Alonso right in the gearbox of Charles Leclerc. Can he get past him? That's a big question. He's going to get another chance through Raskas and Anthony Knowles. And then he's going to have the run down to Sandavon. Here we go with Fernando Alonso. Come to the inside, Sonny. No, not this time. Not this time. And we'll run another lap here. Back on to overtake.
Use overtake. Copy.
I feel like Gasly would be able to pull away from Leclerc here if he wanted to. So here we go again with Fernando. He's going to have another look here. He's got the inside line, and he does go down the inside. But I think Leclerc is going to just about have enough, and he does. What a shame. He did have enough now. What are we looking at for?
This is good.
It's getting worse. We think it is going to get slightly worse, but it doesn't seem to be making much of a difference at the moment. So let's push on. Let's keep an eye on that rainfall. And so again, trying to harvest that energy up. And yeah, the track water is actually reducing as it stands. Gasly leading the way ahead of Leclerc and of Alonso, but we're not really seeing the benefits here of the pace of this car. I think Ferrari probably is a better race car this weekend than us, but Leclerc currently not able to
Energy's good. Okay, copy.
make the move. I'm going to stick it on neutral, try and get him nice and close. And then go overtake. Gasly doing a really good job of looking after his tyres. Let's think about how far these can go. I mean, I think it would be silly, but you could potentially try and conserve them all the way to the end of the Grand Prix. And track position king. Let's see if he can use some overtake. Here we go. Nothing there. Still following 15 laps into this Grand Prix. When are we going to pit? And that's the thing. Gasly will have a good amount of notice because he's not pushing at the moment. Doesn't really need to worry about it. What we need to do is try and open up that gap to George Russell. We're currently 15 seconds ahead of George Russell. If we can come out in front of him, then that would sort of be where we're aiming. I don't think it's worth Fernando Alonso using all of this energy at this phase of the Grand Prix. I think he can stay with these two fairly easily. No point ruining his tyres compared to others around him. So let's zoom it on a bit. We'll wait for that rainfall to pretty much stop by the looks of it. I don't think it'll get dry enough for dry tyres. That's the thing where
DRS will be active.
DRS is enabled.
No saving required.
Let's see if Fernando can go for it here. Oh, track is now damp again, but we should have DRS on this lap. No, it looks like it's perhaps been disabled again. Fastest lap of the race for Pierre Gasly. That was a 1:17.7. It was actually Fernando Alonso has just put in the new fastest lap. just started raining again, and that's what stopped us from having a little bit of a moment with potential strategy changes. We need to keep an eye on this. It is going to get wetter, but I don't think wet enough really for wet tyres, but we'll let other people make their mind up on that. So we are leading this Grand Prix, and it is turning into a little bit of a procession. We now need to think strategy-wise of how we get Fernando Alonso up into P2 in this Grand Prix. Now, if I was to pit Fernando Alonso now, where would he come out? He would come out in 9th, which is ahead of K-Mag. So I think a few more laps and Fernando Alonso could come out in front of George Russell. And I think Alonso wouldn't take very long to catch back up to Hamilton on brand new, fresh, intermediate tyres. So that might be an option. Now, of course, you cease track position with that, but we're now coming up towards the back markers of this Grand Prix. We're now starting to get towards potential pit window, because that rain is forecast to get a little bit worse. Now, blue flags could be a big issue here for Pierre. Can we get past Yuki Tsunoda nice and easily, please? This can be the only thing that goes a little bit wrong here. We're now going to attack and push
Do everything
with
you can, mate.
Fernando.
Copy.
We'll see if he is able to get past Charles Leclerc using Yuki Tsunoda here. Gasly. This is absolutely not where we want to be meeting up with Yuki Tsunoda. We want him through the tunnel, please. So here we go. So Pierre Gasly makes it through, and now the traffic gets in the way, and that gives Alonso a chance, but Yuki Tsunoda, that was a late move to the left. Now, is he going to get out of the way of Fernando? Yes, he is. And now Leclerc's dropped off Gasly. That could give Fernando a bit of a chance here. So let's push. We're now going to give Pierre Gasly a little bit of license to just push on a bit here.
Now, with tyres are happy to push.
And yeah, we're not expecting it to get much wetter than this. The weather forecast has definitely changed. It's about deciding when we come into the pit lane. So I'm hoping Gasly can pull out a 3-4 second gap fairly quickly on Leclerc, and that allows us to think about double stacking. But I think Alonso may well have Leclerc here, because Leclerc's not going to have any sort of slipstream. This is going to be a good run for Fernando. And here we go. Fernando Alonso has the inside line into Sandavon, and he goes through. Is he going to be able to stay in front? Yes, he is. Fernando Alonso now up to P2 in this Grand Prix, and that is absolutely huge for us.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
And now I think we both push on a little bit and try and get ahead of Charles Leclerc, because That was beautifully orchestrated. We used Yuki Tsunoda. We knew that the traffic would cause a little bit of an issue for Charles Leclerc. It allowed Gasly to push on a little bit. And now we are nicely ahead. We have got more traffic coming. And Gasly's been held up slightly there. And Alonso could be held up by Mick Schumacher here. And this is going to allow Charles Leclerc to get back past. Potentially. Come on, Fernando. Fernando through, and where is Charles? So Charles is just behind. And next person up ahead is Nico Hülkenberg. So I think continue with this idea of pushing on, and Gasly through Hülkenberg quite easily. Looks like Alonso's through nicely as well, and Leclerc getting held up by Nico. Perfect. That has worked out beautifully for us. But now traffic is coming into play a little bit. And we want to probably get a good 5-second gap to Charles Leclerc and then start looking after the tyres again. Let's just keep an eye on whether it is going to get slightly worse again. It's going to be that decision of going on to wets or not going on to wets. I'll just move that down to neutral. I hope to save that amount of fuel. Let's just have a little look on strategy view and see the fuel load. So 44 laps Gasly's got in, 43 laps for Fernando Alonso, so that is enough. Yeah, we've got a good 6-second gap now for Gasly over Charles Leclerc. So I'm going to go standard again. You can see Gasly may be able to take these a bit further into the race. Looking at the tyres, people definitely conserving them. They're starting to close back in on Fernando, but shouldn't really be able to close in too much. No, it's making a 1/10 of a second. Oh, this is pretty good from Charles Leclerc, who's just put in the fastest lap of the race. Gasly past Stroll, nice and easy. Alonso should have it fairly similar, and there we go. And now Leclerc, he makes it past easier as well. So Leclerc is catching up to Fernando Alonso. I don't think it's worth pushing at this stage. I think we're in a good place. Don't think these tyres are going to last all the way. We are going to have to come into the pits at some point. It might be Fernando that comes in first. So, where would Fernando come out? He'd come out in P7. So he'd come out he'd come out ahead of George Russell, basically. He'd be behind Lewis Hamilton, so he'd be in this strip of track in front of Hülkenberg, you would imagine. And that will allow Alonso to go at his best pace. This is the thing. Track conditions changing all the time. But I think it is definitely going to be intermediate tyres for the duration. That's whether some people try the zero stopper. Gasly could potentially do it. I might even go light and try and keep Gasly's tyres in the best possible shape. This is such an interesting dilemma because nobody has come into the pits yet. And where are we looking at? I mean, tyre-wise, I think we're going to struggle, you know. I think Alonso is going to have to try and conserve. We're going to conserve tyres. I think people are going to go for a no-stop strategy. I think that's what they're doing. Got 30 laps to go. And people had about 50% tyres. Alonso holding these guys up. It's going to create a bit of a train behind him, but what it will give is Pierre Gasly a little bit of a buffer here. If there was a virtual safety car. That rain is getting lighter now. On lap 50 of this Grand Prix. It's this little spell here. Is that going to bring people into the pits? Alonso just doing a terrific job holding up Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz. And now the Red Bulls have joined up as well. Now, what this potentially loses us is the option of Alonso coming into the pits and coming out in front of George Russell, but I still think he is going to manage that. So, yeah, Alonso's still in P2. Gasly running away with it at the moment. Looking after those tyres. Catching Yuki Tsunoda for a second lap. This would be. That would be rather embarrassing for Yuki Tsunoda. Lap 54 of this Grand Prix. Let's have a look at people's tyres. No, they are. I think they are going to the end. I genuinely do think that that's what's happening. Now, Pierre Gasly, it's probably worth conserving. Probably is worth that because Alonso's not going to catch him. He's not going any faster than him. It's just going to stay at a constant speed, this gap. I think we've played a blinder here, you know. At least with Gasly, I'm not sure Alonso's tyres are going to last him, though. That's the issue. But Russell is super slow out there. Gasly just desperately trying to look after those tyres. I'm disappointed in myself for not spotting earlier that people were going to potentially go for that zero stop. I'm annoyed, but this is huge. This could be a 1-2 at the Monaco Grand Prix. Now, lap time wise, I think. Oh, Leclerc! Hang on. Leclerc has got past Alonso. When did that happen? And now I think we're going to have to attack again with Fernando because we need to get back past.
Come on.
So Leclerc overtook Alonso. What happened here?
There's Leclerc.
It was into Sandavant. And yeah, he just went down the inside, caught Alonso napping a little bit. And now Alonso going to have to push. Get back past him. because we cannot afford Leclerc closing in on Gasly. We're going to keep Gasly on, conserve for now.
Do what you can to keep the tyres cool. Understood.
Now, what we're looking at, it is going to start chucking it down again very, very shortly. Charles Leclerc managed to get past Fernando Alonso. Now can Alonso come back at him? He did have a lot more pace before, and here we go. This could be a chance. He's using overtake. He goes to the inside. This is going to be a chance. Down the inside, Alonso goes. Oh, they're side by side as they head up the hill, but Alonso will have to back out of it. And this is the issue, because Alonso now is using precious tyre life. Gasly's still okay. 8.4 ahead, losing a second in that last lap. Is he gonna... I think he's gonna manage to hold better tyres than the AI here. I'm gonna go overtake again. No, it's not gonna happen this lap. Gonna have to harvest again. And that is a huge issue, because Gasly now is going to have to go back to standard to try and maintain this gap to Charles Leclerc. Alonso's harvesting his energy, and he's actually dropped to a second behind Charles Leclerc. Oh, and he's caught. No, that could be the 1-2 out of the window now.
Okay, energy's good. Okay, copy.
I think we're going to have to give that up, because if you look at his tyres, they're just not going to last.
Pretty dry, so don't damage these tyres, especially high speed.
Copy.
Tyres wise, it's just going to be so tough. But I think we have to give up the fight.
Some rear graining.
I think we have to give up the fight with Alonso on Leclerc. That was...
So what do you want? Would you want box?
We've just caught Natman.
Safe fuel. Copy.
And now, because his tyres are so poor, he's got the worst tyres in the field by far. Because we were attacking so much early on to try and get into second place. And now Gasly is being caught by Charles Leclerc, but we've only got 14 laps to go. Now, if Alonso came in, he'd go down to 7th, and this is the issue. He's not going to be able to get back past people, because it's Monaco. Oh, Gasly nearly went into the back of Mick Schumacher there. And this is going to bring Leclerc right back into it. You can see Leclerc in the distance there. He is closing in. 3 seconds now. It's going to be a case of who's got the best tyres. 38% for Pierre Gasly. We're going to go light for the next couple of laps.
Drop back a bit.
Maybe even conserve. And maybe we push the fuel. See if that can compensate.
You can stop lift and coast.
Copy.
How's Alonso doing? Still ahead of Carlos Sainz. And Lewis Hamilton has made it past Max Verstappen. See Charles Leclerc just behind. And it was all looking rather good 10 laps ago. And Gasly was 10 seconds ahead of Alonso. Now 2.3 ahead of Leclerc. Alonso just well off the pace. There's no way Alonso is going to be able to make these tyres work to the end of the Grand Prix. It is just going to go wrong. But I just don't think we can do anything else because nobody else is going to be out there and pitting. I just can't believe this. Gasly's still leading the way. 37% on the tyres. 39% for Leclerc. Let's push it forward a couple of laps. Now, Gasly, you need to get past Hülkenberg. He manages that fairly easily. Leclerc, and really not far behind now. He's going to get within a second fairly soon. 1.3 now, the gap. So look at tyres, 36% plays 38%. Gonna go standard tyres now to the end of the Grand Prix.
Yep.
Also still P3 in this race. We're expecting a little bit more light rain to come. Charles Leclerc now. Has he saved his best for the last few laps? Because he is definitely quicker than us at this phase of the Grand Prix. He's been quicker than us all Grand Prix, really. It's only when Gasly's been attacking that he's been quicker than Leclerc. Leclerc now. Nearly within that 1 second window, but of course there's no DRS anyway. Alonso not having the best of times out there. The rain has stopped. Is it going to be a dry finish? Is it going to be a dry finish? We've still got 9 laps to go after this one. And Charles Leclerc is still hunting down Pierre Gasly. If that DRS becomes active, we'll then give Leclerc a chance. So Alonso down to 25% tyre wear now. Still got 9 laps to go. Alonso just going as slow as he can at this point. Let's up it up a little bit more. Gasly's still doing a terrific job staying in front, looking after those tyres as best he can.
Traction and move speed are a bit tricky.
Yeah, copy.
So 3%.
Yeah, the balance is so understeer. Can you help me?
3% is the tyre difference, and honestly, I feel like that could be all it needs. And wow, look at this. I mean, it is going to be a dry end, you know. Fernando Alonso, where would he come out? He's come out in 9th now. The track is now dry. I feel like people are going to come into the pits. There's still 5 laps to go after this one. And people's tyres are surely not going to last. Especially on a dry track. They're just going to burn through the roof here. Leclerc right behind. Leclerc's got DRS here.
5 more laps.
Right
5
then.
more laps.
Copy.
honestly think Gasly might have his work cut out here. 5 laps to go. Alonso's surely going to have a puncture. Oh, some people are in. Some people are in. Now, let's hop on board. It looks like Hamilton and Verstappen are going softs. Let's go for it with Alonso because I do not think he will finish. Otherwise, so he's going to attack now. Push the fuel. Now Gasly. Well, we're staying out there. Leclerc stays out as well. Now with Fernando.
4 more laps, 4 more laps.
It's so tough. Because this is going to be an absolutely dry lap. Here comes Fernando
Copy.
Alonso into the
Copy.
pits. Other people haven't come in.
Yeah, copy.
Well, we could have just thrown away a podium here. But to be fair, I think Alonso would have had a puncture. Is Alonso going to get out before Hamilton? I think he should. Yep, he's out now. There goes Hamilton, but I think Alonso is fine. Right, deploy. You need to use everything you've got, Fernando. Yeah. This is tough because that AlphaTauri is going to be quicker than us because they're on the soft tyre. Goes down the inside. Now where is Leclerc? Leclerc is still following us.
3 more laps, 3 more laps.
Ooh. I think Gasly might be okay. I think he might have done it now. He might have broke the back of it. But Fernando is gonna really catch the other guys, surely. 15 seconds. Is he gonna be that much quicker? I don't know. Can these guys get out of the way? Let's go. So Gasly still 22%. I mean, these tyres are just shredding. They are just shredding out there. There's only 7 of us out there on the intermediate tyres trying to do the whole zero stopper. But we cannot risk... we cannot risk coming into the pits and losing track position. We've just got to stay out there now. Alonso, meanwhile, 11.7.
2 more laps.
But he's going to run out of time, surely.
Yeah.
Surely he's going to run out of time. We're going to go neutral. Alonso absolutely purple out there. He's got no traffic. That's what could help him. Gasly still. Oh my god, he's now on 20%. That's going to mean that... Oh my goodness. That's now going to mean that Leclerc has got much better tyres. I think we now need to deploy.
So use energy if you need it.
Copy.
Alonso, how close are you? He's the tunnel distance behind. The track is completely bone dry here. The intermediates are just shredding. And onto the last lap goes
Last lap.
Pierre Gasly. Is he going to be able to hold off?
Used energy.
Charles Leclerc. This is an unbelievable end to the race. You could say perhaps we've thrown away a potential podium with Alonso, but honestly, I do not think Alonso would have had the tyres. I don't think he would have. He's not going to catch Perez now. Gasly's still ahead of Leclerc. My only fear is a puncture. I don't think Leclerc's going to have enough pace to do an on-track overtake. Goodness me, I thought Gasly was in the wall there. Somebody locked up. Was it Gasly? I don't know. But here we go round. Oh, it's Joe that's out. And here comes Pierre Gasly. He comes up to the line. He is going to win. Gasly wins. Now, Fernando.
Checker flag.
I don't think he's going to quite catch it. Honestly,
Wow.
he is so close. Fernando is so close.
Well done, mate. Well done.
But he's not going to make it.
Lots
One
to
more
pick up.
lap. He needed. And somebody has crashed out there. It was Zhou Guan Yu. And there goes Fernando Alonso. Finishes P5.
Checker flag.
Oh, well.
Okay, let's move on.
Who knows?
Well done, guys. Well done. Good drive. When you stop, it will be P1. Wait 5 seconds and then P0.
Well, what an unbelievable Grand Prix. Pierre Gasly has won the Monaco Grand Prix with a zero stopper. A zero stopper. Now, Zhou Guan Yu was one of the drivers, I believe, on the intermediate tyres. He has crashed out of this Grand Prix. And well, I mean, Alonso, it's one of those, isn't it? You know, when Hamilton and Verstappen came in.
Yeah, in the box.
But Pierre Gasly has done it. What a performance.
Well, this weekend, Pierre Gasly flew us to the stars. Everyone involved in Formula One dreams of seeing their driver up there on the podium.
And there he is alongside the two Ferrari drivers. Brilliant.
The Frenchman was in sublime form today, fully deserving of his podium finish here. Today's competitors gave it their all, but it's going to be those three taking home the big points. Aston Martin having an extremely good day at the track.
That's right, the team really deserves to celebrate this success before looking ahead to the next race.
At the end of the weekend, it's second place in the constructor standings for them.
Next time, the teams will be racing through the streets of another city. Join us in Baku on the shores of the Caspian Sea for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Well, you have to say, 4 Grand Prix wins this season, 3 in a row now for Aston Martin, 2 in 3 for Pierre Gasly, and that was unbelievable. I mean, Fernando Alonso's pace at the end of the Grand Prix, a 1:11.3 he managed to put in on the final lap there. It was so close. He was so close. One more lap and he would have absolutely finished third there. But I think Alonso would have got a puncture. He was many percent lower than Gasly, and Gasly finished on about 14%, I think, in the end. But there you go. A 4th Grand Prix victory for us this season. We have absolutely nailed the strategy. We may not have the fastest car, but we are making the most of our situations, and that is why we are in the position we are in. Charles Leclerc finished 2nd ahead of Sainz in 3rd, with Perez in 4th. Alonso finished 5th in the end ahead of Hamilton in 6th, Verstappen 7th, Russell 8th, Vettel 9th, and Daniel Ricciardo rounded out the top 10. Moving on to the Drivers' Championship, Fernando Alonso up to second now, 6 points behind Sergio Perez. He is Mr. Consistency this season. Pierre Gasly in P5. There are only 11 points separating the top 5 drivers. It is going to be a grandstand season, this one. In the Constructors, we are at 9 points behind Red Bull. Only 27 ahead of Ferrari. Again, that's going to be a big race. It's reminding me of the early 2010s, this one, with how competitive we are. A development point in the bag for Gasly. Not for Fernando Alonso, but we should have one for Piastri come the next episode. 5 million in profit, and we can be delighted with that. Another victory this season. It was a stressful one, that one, because we attacked perhaps a little bit too much early on there, but we have pulled it off. A brilliant Grand Prix victory, and I'm really looking forward to Baku in the next Grand Prix. I think that will be a really intense race, so I'm looking forward to that one tomorrow. If you've enjoyed that, then give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 Manager content. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.